Good morning. Welcome to the homestead. Sure glad you could make it. Well, it's not supposed to rain this morning anyway. There's a slight chance that it might rain later this afternoon. I don't know. But in the meantime, we're going to try and cap off all these lines, hook up the lines that need to be hooked up, and finish running them where they need to go. Once we get that done with the water lines, then we'll start throwing electrical lines in the ground and get those to the areas they need to go. But first, let's do those water lines. I did run into town this morning and got some plugs for those that aren't ready to be hooked up. And we should have all the rest of the fittings we need. So let's go. Okay, so my hesitation in trying to figure this out is that these lines are coming in at a 40 or a 90, and I really can't bend them around the corner. When I dug the trenches, I hadn't messed with the PEX line before, so I made the assumption that I could just make it go around a corner. Clearly, when you try to do that, it kinks. You can see that right here. So what I'm going to wind up having to do is I'll use the 3/4 by 3/4 by 3/4 T to make it around the corner like that. And then I'll have to reduce this down to 1/2 inch to go to the faucet. That's all I can think of doing. Okay, we'll move on to the next one, which should be, I don't know, over there. I was going to run the water line here, but the electric is coming from here, so that would be a shorter run to put the electric there. And I have more water line than I do electric, so I think I'm going to move it over to there where I have that other trench that I just dug. I think that would be the smart move. This is where I reach the end of my 3/4 inch PEX line, and I have to go down to 1/2 inch on out to the garden area. So I'll use a 1/2 inch to 3/4 reducer. No big deal. That'll keep the pressure up and just make it work better. fact, it's a pretty neat invention versus the old days when you just put PVC pipe in the ground and glue each section together and all of that. It's nice because it is fairly flexible and it'll bend around, you know, long radius corners, that kind of thing. But also, whoever invented it is making a fortune. It was over $50 for this tool. And it's pretty basic as far as tools go. It's calibrated for pecs, 3/4 and 1/2 inch and all that, which is fine. So it's well made, but they make fancier ones and fancier ones. And the price just goes way up from there. Plus, the pipe isn't too bad price-wise, but the all of the little goodies, you know, like this is a reducer, you know, all of those fittings and stuff, they're expensive. So I don't know that you actually save any money in the long run, but you do save, if you're doing it for pay, you'd save time, I guess, and that would save you some money. Those that know what they're doing with it are probably much faster at it than I am. Anyway, let's move on down to the end. They actually make a tool specifically for cutting PEX pipe so that when you cut it, it doesn't smash it at all. This is a regular PVC cutter. It's really sharp. It seems to do the job just fine. Now I have the faucet for this in the garage, or in my shop rather. It's an anti-freeze faucet. So what happens is when you release it, or shut it off rather, it bleeds all the water out of the faucet line below into the ground. So it's kind of a neat deal. We had one over there at the very front of the property, but they don't work if you leave them fully charged the whole time and then it freezes, because all the water stays up in the nozzle and everything else. And when it froze last year, it actually destroyed it. So I had to buy a new one. I'm just wondering if I should put it in. This is the end of the line. Well, I'm going to go ahead and cap it off because we really, really need to get these trenches buried. It's supposed to rain again this afternoon, and when that happens, it's too hard to bury the trenches. So I'm just going to hustle through this. I'm going to cap this off, leave it here, not bury all of it. That way I can get in there and put the faucet in, or the hydrant in, when that time comes without too much difficulty. Okay, we're over here by the cat house. And I have an electrical line that runs to the cat house. But we had decided, after we took the trencher back, figure that out, that we wanted, since we already have a line going to the cat house, we're just going to extend the line out to, or the trench out to the fence and run a faucet there. Just be handy to have one over here as well. So, but that means I have to dig the trench by hand. With all the rain we've had the last few days, maybe that won't be such a big deal. We're soon going to find out. Okay, well that wasn't too bad. Just need to stub this off and cap it. All right, once again, moving on. I know it's hard to see down in that hole, but that's what we did right there. So that's the main line right there. That's the 3/4 inch main line coming in. This one goes to the shop. This one goes back to those cottages over there.
All right.
I don't know if you remember, but I covered up a bunch of unions or joint areas that joined up with tarps before the rain to keep them dry. And then after the rain, I dug them all out. Well, and then it rained again. Well, apparently one of them I didn't dig out. So I need to dig that out now. And it's all wet. What can I say? I missed one. There was a lot. But I'm going to dig this out, and then we can continue on and finish up the water lines and switch over to electrical. Okay, I'm going to have to run to the store and get some PEX clamps and some 1/2-inch plugs. Dang it. Maybe the store down on the corner, which isn't really on the corner, but 3-4 miles from here versus 14-15 miles from here. Maybe they've got some. If not, I'll have to run into town, which that's a shame. Anyway, I'm going to go do that because I can't finish this without it. Alrighty, I'm back. Time to get back to work. Okay, well that does it for the plumbing. Sure appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time on the homestead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share with a friend, leave us a comment. Bye now.